and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the Atlantic hurricane season, in which there is a major update and a possible major hurricane, and that is this disturbance right here. Even though this is yellow and has a formation chance through 48 hours of 20%, this storm could enter the Gulf and rapidly intensify. So, a broad area of low pressure is expected to form over the southwestern Caribbean Sea in a couple of days from a tropical wave currently located over the central Caribbean Sea. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for development of the low if it remains over water, and a tropical depression could form late this week or this weekend while the system moves northwestward over the northwestern Caribbean Sea, across the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico and into the southwestern Gulf of Mexico by Sunday, and the formation chance through 5 days is 60%. So let's just take a look at that development area, so you can see that really not going to form as of now, but once it gets right up against Central America and Mexico, where the activity is all stemming from at the moment, with that Central American gyre producing a lot of moisture, and the storm could just eat that all up and form and intensify. So let's move on here to the GFS, and this is the North Atlantic. We're going to go over this real quick, just a quick overview, and then we're going to go to more specifically one disturbance. So starting off here, we have this disturbance. This is disturbance 2, and that will form right in the middle of the Atlantic, and it moves off to the north. Now, this other disturbance here really doesn't form up much. There's a possibility of a tropical storm, but really not much there. Now, let's go to the Western Atlantic and take a look at this. This is our disturbance, and it starts to make its way over to the west and start to move north. You can see that all of that moisture came from right in here, Central American gyre, and now we have a setup for a pretty intense storm as is, with rainfall here. Then it crosses the Yucatan, weakens a little bit, but it just gets on a roll here in the Gulf of Mexico. I don't believe we've seen a single Western Gulf storm so far this year. So there's a lot of energy out there, and this storm uses it all. 942 millibars right before it starts to interact with Texas. Now, this is south of Houston, north of Corpus Christi, so San Antonio could be impacted by this, as well as, of course, both those previously named cities, as this storm is pretty large. They just won't be in the worst of it. As of right now, things could change. So, let's take a look here at the south-central U.S. Zoom in yet again, and we are going to go to the winds. So let's just zoom in to over here as the storm starts to arrive, and we can start to see it here in the corner right here. So as the storm comes in, you can see it's very similar to Hurricane Harvey from 2017. It doesn't look that menacing until it starts to go bonkers. That is definitely at least a Category 4 hurricane, if not a Category 5. That is well up there. So that makes landfall, and you can see that the hurricane force winds don't last for long, and it is all over from when the first winds start to push on the shore, 2 o'clock p.m. on the 30th Eastern Time. It's all over in about a day with the worst of the winds. Of course, when we get down to it, the tropical storm force winds won't be over until a little bit more, about 6 to 10 hours afterwards. But landfall time as of now is between 2 and 8 p.m. on the 31st of August. Now, that may seem close, but that is a week away. A little bit under a week away. So, that is definitely enough time for this to take a completely different track. Maybe go toward Mexico, maybe go toward Louisiana. And with all of the moisture out here, it could even go over the Yucatan and just die. It doesn't have to enter the Gulf if it just gets torn apart over land. So there are many options. But right now, all we know is that the storm is moving west. It's going to pick up a lot of moisture in the Central American Gyre, start to move more northwesterly, but as of right now, I'm thinking once it gets to the Gulf, anywhere is fair game. Because at that point, that's the 28th. It's about a few days out. So, and once it crosses the Yucatan, it's the 29th. So that's your typical cone right there. So after that, this storm could have shifted all the way to the east or west in that cone, and that affects the cone for the rest of the Gulf states. So no need to worry as of yet, but this is something that we do have to look at, especially if it's going to have U.S. impacts. So what do you think is going to happen with this storm, and what category do you think this storm could reach if it intensifies in the Gulf? Comment in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell. But that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.